So coming on here onto the show with me, people that have followed my show for 5+ years, starting up from Vegas and then moving my way into Denver, Colorado, and where I found my second home here in Denver. And for my next guest, played 6 years in the NFL, found his home in Denver, Colorado, and playing up the amount of seasons that he has in the Bronco uniform. So joining us here, Tennessee alumni and former linebacker A.J. Johnson joins us here on the show. Well, first off, I do want to say, I want to start with this because we know you being a Tennessee alumni and where you're at now up in Tennessee. I think the program, they've been doing such a great job. I mean, Josh Heupel really is building up the competency in this program, especially with a very loaded, talented SEC conference. But we know the conversation that's been around was the whole Nico situation. So Nico's out and he goes to UCLA. Josh Heupel set an example of, look, we don't want players who are going to be feeling like they're above the program. Everybody's all on a balanced scale. But we know Nico, this is my thing. I'm about to be a parent come this next year on February with my wife and I. And the biggest thing, and I'm sure as a father figure as well, what you would tell your kids is like, to me, I want to share my knowledge with you to give you the tools that you need to prepare for everyday life, but blaze your own trail, because in the end, the choices you make, the decisions that you make as well, there's going to be repercussions, but there's also going to be some of those things that might be a good thing in your life. So to me, when I look at this Nico situation, I felt like he had a lot of influences around him. And for him to be at UCLA, AJ, I don't know. He's going to get tested in the Big Ten. What did you think of that the minute he left to go to UCLA, and what this is going to mean for your former program in Tennessee, man? How they're going to look this upcoming season?
Well, let me say congrats on about to be a father, man. That's awesome.
Thank you,
and
man.
then, and as you say, I'm a father as well. I got two daughters and one son, and so I already know how it is being a father. And you always want what's best for your child and your what's best for your children. But to your question, I don't know. I had a lot of people ask me that, man. What you think about that? What you think about that? I like, man. I'm about to say, man, people gonna make their decisions and do what they think best, or somebody gonna sway them to do something that what they think that's best for them. But shoot, at the end of the day, one thing I do know for sure is no place better than Tennessee. Like I can just tell you that, like right now, like regardless, like Tennessee is like the staple of football. Like, yeah, I'm a Tennessee guy. I'm from there, but just being around different programs or seeing guys that went to different programs and just the way Tennessee worked, man, just from my time being there, man, I tell people, man, like just being in the league, I tell some guys, man, we did 52 110s one time, and people like, what? Y'all ran 52 110s? I don't believe it. I'm like, yeah, like that's one thing about being in Tennessee, man. The ball nation is going to always support you. It's global. It's worldwide. You're going to get Vol fans everywhere, and it's nothing better than just being a Vol. So I hate that he's not a Vol anymore. And man, the most best to him, but it's nothing better than being a Vol. I can tell you that for sure.
Yeah, Tennessee is definitely on my list of places to definitely travel and see, because my wife and I were such travelers and we love to go to different states and different places. I mean, Nashville, Knoxville, you name it, all around the whole cities. And you know what? I've heard a lot of good things about their barbecue. And so I am a foodie guy. So I definitely would love to be enjoying some Tennessee barbecuing at some point.
Well,
Um,
they say Memphis is known for the barbecue. So if you come to Knoxville, you're gonna have probably about a good 6 to 7 hour drive to get to that Memphis barbecue. But we
love
got some good barbecue out here in Knoxville. But yeah, if you haven't been to a Tennessee game before, even people who's not football fans, sports fans, man, just going to experience the ball's atmosphere is crazy. I'm telling you, it's nothing like it. And if you do make the trip out here, make sure you hit me up. I live about an hour out from Knoxville, so hit me up and hopefully if you come this year, I won't be here because I plan on getting picked up by a team. But give me a couple more years down the road. I'll take you out on a boat, one of them night games. So just recently, I did a boat ride up on a night game, and man, it was nothing like it. Seeing the stadium from the water,
Mm.
And like obviously, I'm used to being in the stadium playing and stuff like that, but seeing the stadium from the water at a night game, man, it's just so it's
Oh
amazing.
man, I love that kind of experience. And you know what's funny is I even told myself living here up in Colorado, I plan to go to some college games, especially up in Boulder, watching Dion and them, watching the Buffaloes, see how they do, or even just going up to Fort Collins to watch a Colorado State, because that rivalry in itself, man, it's very intense. I do want to talk about this team. So you went up undrafted, but you found your home here in Denver and being a part of this defense. So I look at this Denver defense, AJ, and they really doubled down on a lot of their pickups, getting Talanoa Hufunga, Dre Greenlaw. This defense now, and even picking up a first round corner in Jade Barron. I think Sean Payton really wants a lockdown defense, especially when you got Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert twice a year. And who knows how the Raiders are going to look like themselves. But understanding and even knowing the climate and altitude up here in Denver, Colorado, and then seeing this defense, I mean, this has got to be a defense that's going to be right there near top 10 and a team that's going to really make a lot of noise this upcoming season, right?
Oh yeah, I'm about to say, like you said, Sean Payton, he's a veteran. I mean, not a veteran. He's one of the goats at coaching. So he gonna do what is he gonna make it right. So that's always nice there. And I know a few coaches that he brought on that I know personally that he's bringing in some great people around in the building just to help with the guys. So but if they bring Dono back, I'll turn it up just a little more.
Yeah,
Just
right.
saying, but you know. I'm about to say I would, man, I got a lot left in the tank, so they bring Dono back, I turn it up a little more, they love seeing that celebration out in college, I mean, out in Denver, walking around that field, stomping on people. But no, like you said, man, it'd be exciting watching Broncos take this season off. It's just it'd be nice. I wish they bring me back, but no, it'd be nice.
So, I think about Bo Nix and what he's done, last season as a rookie. And I mean, a lot of people were like, commenting, saying, like, this guy's a reach at 12. And I'm like, look, Sean Payton, if he's known anything when it comes to quarterbacks, especially from one that he played alongside with Drew Brees for years, he wants a guy that's going to be competent, a guy that can grow, a guy that can really build upon the system. So going into year two, there's a lot of there's a lot of expectations up from here. AJ is I think with Bo, I think he's accurate. I think he's capable of throwing the deep ball because a lot of people criticized that when we were in the scouting combine, and I'm like, if you watch in game, Bo Nix can do it. But I also tend to think he's got a bit of happy feet up from there. Do you think Bo Nix, from what we've seen from his rookie season, getting the Broncos out of this drought into the playoffs last season, that this might actually be the year to turn it up a notch and prove a lot of people, hey, he's going to be one of the top dogs in the NFL this upcoming season?
No, just like I said, what his performance he did just last season, awfully being a young guy, which being a young guy don't really matter. When you're a baller, you're a baller. It don't matter young, old. Like when you're a baller, you're a baller. At that, it don't matter. There ain't no young to it. If you're a baller, you're a baller. So he balled out. So hopefully he'll be able to lead the team into, like you said, get into a good playoff and get far into that playoff and shoot. Hope mostly more than the playoff. I know coming me personally, how I made my decision to end up going to Colorado was because I know the history of being a Bronco. Just seeing the trophy sit in the hallway, all the just the atmosphere around it, and then just being in Colorado in general itself is like one of the best places you probably can be. And so just the just getting it back to how it was back in the days, and getting those the Lombardi trophies and stuff would be nice.
Yeah, right. Oh man, Mile High would just be absolutely ecstatic if they ended up getting a Super Bowl back here again. I mean, I'd be hearing the entire like statewide to just be rocking because of just the fact that you're back to Super Bowl relevancy. So let's shift up over here to another team that I think is interesting because Seattle, to me, Mike McDonald, he's a very good defensive minded coach. And what we've seen, from the Seahawks, and I mean, we watched the Legion of Boom for years, and bringing in a defensive minded coach like Mike McDonald, he wants to make sure that this team plays physical football. They get after the quarterback and even stop the run game, but they want to get the possession up and onto the offensive side. So when I look at this NFC West, I mean, I don't know if I particularly trust the 49ers, truthfully, no matter how quote unquote easy the season looks like for their schedule. I mean, you just paid the bag to Purdy, and I don't even know if that easy schedule might not be so easy down the road because you're dealing with physicality all season long, and then you got the Rams who have high expectations. The Cardinals look sneaky good. So the Seahawks. I mean, when I look at this is a team that's going to want to get physical and really want to also play spoilers in some areas if they really want to shoot into the playoffs for the NFC.
Shoot, I didn't know they paid the back to Bird, quarterback at San Fran. But it's nice they did. Cause you know he all been flying on the radar. And, you know, people like, oh, he only getting paid this much and he's taking them this far. I'm glad he got that check because he been balling for that check.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
But yeah, shoot. I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, you asking me questions that I don't really have answer to or know much about because I'm not a football fan, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
I love playing football, and I watch it for like film purposes. Like right now, I really watching it just for preseason and stuff like that. Be like, oh, somebody got injured on this team, or somebody down right here. Oh, I might got a shot to get that call from here and there. But like far as like watching deep into the playoffs and stuff like that, it's more. I want to be out there playing, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
I'm not a big football fan. I just love playing football and I love watching it for film purposes. But just like knowing about guys here and there, I really don't really know much. To be honest, I really don't know much about what these other guys are doing. Because if I ain't on the field or if I ain't getting a shot or talking with a GM to potentially be at that team, I really wouldn't know as much as what you would know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes total sense. And like I said, you're definitely hungry to get back up and onto the field. Well, let me see. I could definitely ask you this. I mean, you've been around him, but talk to me something about Pete Carroll. I mean, you've been around him and the kind of defensive mind he is. He's coming now to my hometown in Las Vegas and now coaching the Raiders. Playing around him, Pete Carroll, I remember watching him as a kid at USC and how he recruited, how he really pitched it to a lot of young, talented players, and then really how he just had this touch to make things work. I mean, we saw it with Geno Smith, and we saw it with a couple other players. When you were coached around him, I mean, what was he like, and what we should kind of preview and expect now being in a new place where this AFC West is the most experienced, competent division full of great coaches. I mean, what did you experience out of Pete Carroll that we should expect this upcoming season?
So you know Vegas is a betting town, as you know. And I would say, if you betting, go ahead and bet on Pete Carroll. But no, man, like just I can't say like when I first got to Seattle, and it's like when I got there, it gives me a feeling of being like he makes football fun. Like regardless of me, like you know some guys complain about here and there, but like there it's like literally like I love ball regardless. It's always fun to me. Being in it on the football field practicing, I just like I've been loving it. It's my first love since I was 5 years old. But just his energy he brings, like literally I sat in the meeting room and you know, I'm coming in, sitting there and like next thing you know, I just see him running down the aisle with music playing, turned up, waving his hands, and I'm sitting looking at people left and right. I'm like, hey, hey, do he do this all the time? They be like, yeah, he come in with energy, ready to go. I said, oh shoot, it's on fire. So you know that I already know the energy he brought out there to the Raiders is going to be very uplifting and just for example, what he just did about somebody trying to talk mess about his quarterback, he stands up for his players. So that's dope right there. That's real. And as you see, he brought people he know and love and he trusts in. So, you know, I can say if you're betting, go ahead and bet on Pete.
Love it, man. And you know what? That's pretty impressive to do that at 73 years old and you're still hyping up like you're 20 again. and you're coming
Oh
out that
yes.
tunnel. That's very impressive up and at that age.
Man, when I seen him running down the aisle, I was like, oh shoot. And then you say 73, I'm like, this man is not no 73. Like, man, boy, he moving like he's 34.
Yeah. So for our audiences, a final question for you because um, we recently have watched arguably one of the best tight ends that I've watched, growing up, in Antonio Gates get enshrined to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and as an undrafted player who didn't even play a single down in college at Kent State, which is just incredible. I mean, to do that and then be labeled as a Hall of Famer. Obviously, like, going undrafted, I'm sure it definitely made you feel a type of way. But then when you signed with a team, what was kind of the feeling behind that, especially for our young audiences? Because there's a lot of youngsters out there that love football, play football, and they want to make the career out of it, and be the best of the best. And so even when a situation like this comes up and then you get the opportunity, you grasp it, and then you play as well as you do to earn the roster spot. What was that experience like for you, and an advice for a lot of our youngsters here on this program to give them the words of encouragement to keep on playing?
Man, first thing first, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in yourself, and trust in God. That's
Amen.
that's what you got to go by, regardless. Because for the young people who are watching, listening, my situation was totally different from a lot of other guys who was undrafted. Like my story is probably usually unheard of. So for the people who don't know, my story is I'm a I went to University of Tennessee, obviously All American high school, All American at the University of Tennessee, and I actually was on the number one list to win the Buckets Awards my senior year in college. I was top winner to win the Buckets Awards list. Unfortunately, female lied on me. They called the worst thing could ever be called in this world, and so that cut my college career short. I missed my last 5 games, and roll around. Not only missed my last 5 games, I missed 4 seasons of playing football. 4 seasons of playing football, and you would think people would cave or break. He's giving up. Man, always trust in yourself, believe in God, believe in yourself, trust in God, and keep working, keep pushing, keep working. 4 years roll around. I got, I got that call from, got the call from Broncos. A couple teams reached out to me, but once Broncos called me, I was like, oh, I'm going out there for sure. Once I visit, I got a tryout, got that tryout, made the team. And once I made the team, after I had to sit for a little minute, which me knowing, I know I'm one of the best players in the world. And so I had to sit my first year when I was with Colorado, and that right there was pretty tough for me, just knowing like, man, I'm sitting right here and not getting to play, and I know I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm sitting and not getting to play, and it's funny. So people don't know this. I went up and talked with coach. I'm like, hey, coach, man, what I got to do to get on the field? Like, man, I've been waiting for 4 years to get this opportunity. Now I want to show what I can do. Like I know I'm one of the best. And they was like, oh no, you know, as you get older and learn, this game is a politics. It's politics. It ain't really about who's the best player. Sometimes it's about who you know, who you connected with, or who knows you. So I was blessed in itself just to be able to get make the team. But I had to sit my first year. But when I got my shot, the other thing I will leave you with: when you get your shot and you get your opportunity, capitalize on it because you never know when it will come. So when you get that one shot and that one opportunity, capitalize on it. So come around 2019, I had to sit and wait for 5 games till I got to play as a linebacker in the game. And when I did, obviously I showed I supposed to been there. And the people who was like, man, you said you was one of the best linebackers. I got to show them I was one of the top linebackers. So that right there in itself is just amazing, just to know that I was able to accomplish and do what I said I was going to do when I got my opportunity. So you get your opportunity, you capitalize, you keep going. So that would be my 2 things I would leave with. You leave with young folks or people listening. Always believe in yourself, trust in God, and when your opportunity comes, capitalize on it because you never know when it comes again. So that right there was probably the biggest thing that I say. And hopefully got to play got to play a few years. Injuries happen, so injuries take people out. So I didn't haven't been able to get that other shot. to really get back on the field and show what I can do. So a lot of people don't know I actually just did a MMA fight just like 4 months ago. So I
Yeah.
decided to do a pro MMA fight just because injuries rolled around. I ended up tearing my Achilles and injuries rolled around. I didn't get picked up last season, so I was like, all right, I didn't get picked up last season. That's not going to stop me. I'm gonna show teams that I'm still healthy. I'm still healthy and I'm still good to go. So I said, hey, let me just go in there and do an MMA fight. Something else is really unheard of. I jumped in there and did a pro MMA fight, my very first time ever fighting. I never did no amateur fights and nothing like that. I said, man, I'm a pro. I know what I can do. I know I'm a professional, so I'm gonna just do a pro MMA fight just to show I'm healthy and good to go. Sure enough, I ended up doing that, and I can say now I'm an undefeated pro MMA fighter. So I did that just to show teams I'm still healthy, and actually been in some good communication with two teams. So I never wish no one get hurt or injured, but that's part of the game. People can't injury, so I know I'm on a list of a couple teams where if some guys go down, I'll get a call to come for a tryout, and when I get that call, I'm gonna capitalize. So that's one of the biggest things I'm living off of right now, man. Just being patient, and when that opportunity comes, capitalize on it. So biggest thing is capitalize and keep pushing, and you can make anything happen.
Oh, absolutely love it, man. You know what? Now you're up and on the list of NFL players like Brendan Schaub and Greg Hardy who have now gotten into pro MMA. And that's got to be an awesome thing right up from there, man. But that's awesome, and congrats on your fight, man. And so, man, how would it feel like if you honestly got the call back from Denver, man? Could that be a possibility right up from there?
That ain't one team I've been in like good communication with, but I would love to go back to Colorado because you know, my goal last year is I want to play 3 more seasons. I'm 33 right now. I want to play till I'm 36 and going on 37. And two of the things is I know I got a lot left in the gas tank. Where like if I get opportunities, somebody told me out there on the field, I'm gonna show them like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be playing. Look what he's doing out there. But just timing, people know and stuff like that. So, but if Colorado end up giving me that call, just know I get an opportunity. I'm gonna show you what I can do, like I did the first time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Show them a reason why that you'd belong on the roster spot. Absolutely, man. But AJ, really appreciate you for taking the time to come up on here with us, giving your expertises, and then just giving a lot of the youngsters what it takes to truthfully grind in this league because it ain't easy, man. But if you continue to believe it, you continue to work for it and capitalize it, like you said, anything is possible, man. I appreciate you for coming on by here up and onto the show.
Man, thank you for having me. I don't know about expertise. I know you at the first beginning of the show, you asked me about these quarterbacks here and there. I'm like, that ain't really my field. But
Yeah,
my field is, I can talk about overcoming and motivating and keep pushing and working because that's what I do. Is like being resilient. It's
yeah.
that's what I know of. No, so if anything about that, I'm definitely a perfect example for it. But man, thanks for having me on, and man, all blessings to you.
Absolutely, man. Bless this to you, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, you have a good night.
Yes, sir.